trying to keep things light, while Justin sat at the table with his arms crossed, clearly irritated. A few relatives who had been supportive of me were present, along with some neutral ones who had shown up out of curiosity. As soon as we started, Justin launched into a monologue about how he felt attacked and abandoned. He claimed he was trying his best but that no one appreciated him. It didn't take long for the rant to turn into finger-pointing, accusing me of blowing things out of proportion and making him the scapegoat. He even threw in a jab at Dad, saying he'd always felt like the outsider in the family. When Justin finished, the room was silent. All eyes turned to me. I stayed calm and began recounting specific incidents where Justin's actions had caused harm, not just to me but to others in the family as well. I didn't raise my voice or get emotional. I simply laid out the facts, one after another. The ruined science project, the sabotage job interview, the countless times he'd shirked responsibilities and left others to clean up his mess. By the time I finished, Justin looked visibly uncomfortable. For once, he had nothing to say. The shift in the room was palpable. Relatives who had stayed neutral started nodding in agreement, and a few even chimed in with their own stories. My cousin Julia spoke up about how Justin had borrowed money from her and never paid it back. An uncle mentioned how Justin had bailed on helping him with a family event, leaving him scrambling at the last minute. It was like the floodgates opened, and all the things people had kept quiet about for years were finally coming to light. Mom, who had been sitting silently up until this point, looked shaken. For the first time, she admitted that she hadn't handled things fairly over the years. She said she thought she was keeping the peace by asking me to be the bigger person, but now she realized she'd only been enabling Justin's behavior. It was a reluctant admission, but it was a start. Under pressure from the entire room, Justin finally broke. He had a meltdown, accusing everyone of ganging up on him and claiming he'd always been the black sheep. But this time, no one let him off the hook. Even Mom, his staunchest defender, told him he needed to take responsibility for his actions. Justin, cornered and out of excuses, offered a tearful apology. It wasn't perfect, but it was genuine enough to feel like progress. He acknowledged the hurt he'd caused and admitted that he'd taken advantage of the family's patience. I accepted his apology but made it clear that rebuilding trust would take time. This wasn't about holding a grudge, it was about ensuring that the cycle of enabling and excuses stopped for good. Justin nodded, and for once he seemed to actually mean it. Over the next few weeks, Justin made small but meaningful gestures to repair the relationship. He apologized to Julia for not repaying her and set up a plan to pay back what he owed. He offered to help our uncle with an upcoming family event. He even reached out to me privately to apologize again, this time without any prompting or witnesses. It felt like he was finally starting to take accountability, not just for my sake but for himself. The family dynamic began to shift. Relatives who had once stayed silent started holding Justin accountable. When he tried to make excuses or deflect, they called him out. It wasn't harsh, it was firm but fair. Mom, too, made an effort to stop enabling him. She apologized to me for dismissing my feelings in the past and started treating me with more respect. Dad remained a quiet but steady source of encouragement. He never made a big show of taking sides, but his support was clear in the way he backed me up during family discussions and subtly encouraged Justin to keep making amends. As for Justin, he started showing signs of genuine growth. He still had a long way to go, but the effort was there. He apologized to other family members he'd hurt and started showing up for responsibilities he would have ignored in the past. He even admitted, during a casual conversation, that he'd been too wrapped up in his own world to realize how much damage he was causing. Things aren't perfect, and they might never be. But for the first time,